So if you could take a few minutes and go to pollev.com, Richard RINAL 134, and enter in the first three words that come to mind when you're thinking of Mickey D's. So I'll wait a few minutes and see what happens. Hopefully it goes okay. So I can save some people some entry. pollev.com/ I'm just putting now. You can enter it again. What is it about McDonald's that makes it either? Oopsie, I don't need this. What is it about McDonald's that makes it either a good or bad experience? Enter as many comments as you wish. Let me know if this one works. Once again, you can poll on a not ranking very high. Okay, so just this is giving us some just general impressions of people's experience at McDonald's. McDonald's is pretty well universal. And once again, oh yeah, there is a play space for kids. That's true. Cool. Okay, so we have a good sense of Mickey D's and what the experience is. So that's cool. Okay, so I'm just going to spend class now, and what we'll do is we're just going to look at developing a survey, a quick little survey that focuses on McDonald's dine-in patron retention. So McDonald's has hired me as a low-end consultant to look at what are the factors in terms of the people's experience at McDonald's that seems to be related to retention. And what I mean by retention is return customers. So what is it about McDonald's that either drives people away or encourages them to come back? And McDonald's will want that information. So the independent variable in this case is retention. I want to know what are the factors that are linked to retention. So my independent variable is I want to look at retention and I want to see which variables relate to retention. So retention is dependent upon, or these variables affect or drive retention, right? So retention is dependent upon, well, the independent variable. These other variables that, in a sense, predict the likelihood of a person returning to Mickey D's. My dependent variables, the ones that should predict retention, should be customer. So dependent variables. The retention is dependent upon these following factors. So customer satisfaction, which can be associated with the quality of the service, the quality of the food, and the perceived value. I can look at convenience, location, hours of option, use of different service deliveries. So eat-in, take-out, delivery. So I can look at those. We'll develop our survey. So I can look at the flow of the survey, my introduction. So I'm just going to go through and let's write an introduction. So I'll start a new survey. So the first thing I want to do is whenever let's say, and I got to walk through this. Let's say I'm doing this as a let's say I'm doing a person-to-person interview. So, or let's say I'm doing a telephone interview. I'm calling them up or somewhere. How long? It doesn't really matter. So I can start with, "Hi, I am Richard Ronaldo, and I have been hired by the McDonald's I've thrown in a little reward here. This is a bit biased here, but I'm just going to leave it. And you can decide not to answer questions, and you're free to quit the survey anytime. There's no penalty. For those who agree to complete the survey, you will receive a $100 gift certificate. Okay. I don't even have to do it. It's going to go to... So I asked them, I have a brief introduction, and then I asked them, do you want to complete the survey? Okay. So I want to ask them, so I want to start off with something that fits within the purpose of the survey. And I may ask them just basically what's my intention, my purpose is retention, right? Do you go to McDonald's? Do you want to go back to McDonald's? So I may start off with a question. So let's make it a better question than that. So it fits with the perfect in terms of the what we're interested in. So I can go, okay, how many times in the past month? How many times have you been to a McDonald's restaurant? Let's break this up. Let's go, say, past month. Let's go 20 or more times. 15 to 19 times. 10 to 14 times. 5 to 9 times. 1 to 4 times. Not been to McDonald's in the last month. Okay. So this one would be this one they go to the next question. If they haven't been in the last month, go to let's go Q. Let's go to Q. This is Q1. Then Q2. And then go to Q3. And these ones are all go to Q4. I could pipe this one, but I'm not going to. Okay. Then Q3. In the past year, have you been to McDonald's? I've broken it up because it's this is low frequency. I'm just going to treat this as a yes, no. This is only for the people who have not been to McDonald's in the last month. And I'll go yes. Go to Q4. If no, go to Q. I haven't decided yet. I have to structure it. Okay. So now I've asked them a question. I know that they whether how often they've been to McDonald's is a bit wordy, but do you want to complete the survey? Yes. In the past month, how many times have you been to a McDonald's restaurant? 20 or more times, 15 to 19 times, 10 to 14, 9 to 5 to 9, 1 to 4, and have not been in the last month. Okay. And then I asked them if you've been in the last year. So if they have been to a McDonald's, so I got a nice little entry level question, and I got things going. The next series of questions thinking right, so this will be Q4. Oh, this is just a statement. And I may just italicize these. Okay. And now I can ask. I may ask, I'm still in my intro phase, so what time of the day did you visit McDonald's? This could be a drop down. So this is Q4. So this will be a drop down with the hours of the day. What time of the day did you visit McDonald's? And then Q5. What day of the week? Okay, I'd have to fix this up a bit. So I would ask a series of questions here about just their general experience at McDonald's in terms of just what they did. Now, I may ask them for what food items that they ordered, right? I could ask a couple of questions of that. So once again, I'm just getting to them in terms of asking them about McDonald's. The survey is about McDonald's. I'm asking them about their experience at McDonald's. Okay. Now, I want to get into some. I'll skip through some of these, just going through examples. So, example topics for service quality. So, for the following, please rate your level of satisfaction. And I might do this as a matrix. I'm not going to do this. Let's do I'm going to fix this up. For the following, please state your level of agreement. And I could go strongly disagree. No, let's go agree or disagree. I'm going with a 5 pointer, 4 pointer. Okay, so I'll just fix that up. And so you agree. Let's change the font here, make it tinier so I can work with it better. And that gives me a bit more room. Let's make it a 10. Make it. And I'll add my little circles. Sorry, I'm just insert a shape. Oh, this is going to get kind of goofy. Oh, let's just do it. There's probably a better way of doing this, but I'll just let's you know what? Let's okay. Let's just I'm not going to do it this way. This just makes it cleaner. The bathrooms are very clean. Um, Maybe not applicable, so I'm just fiddling around with it. There was available parking. Hmm. I can't spell. Staff were friendly. Um, my order was properly filled. Um, Receive my food in a timely manner. I'm just making questions up as we go. It's not necessarily the best, but I can do this as kind of like a little bit of a matrix, right? So I just have bubbles along the side here with the labels. I'm just going with the questions I have here. Um, okay, so I can just be level of agreement with these following statements. Then I can have some, please rate your level of satisfaction for the following. So, very dissatisfied. Hopefully it corrects my spelling for me. and then I would go. Um, I'm just flipping. I'm just going around here. And I'm just going through here. Um, I don't think anyone else can think of anything. I'm just keeping this fairly short. And I would number these questions. So that's question 5. I got Q6, Q7, Q8. Oopsie. Okay. I got my Q here. Okay, then I could get, I could ask, I won't go into any detail, but I could have asked some more questions on this, and then boom, I've got to the body of my survey in terms of what I'm looking at. Um, I could ask this 16. I don't really need the bathroom on here. Oh, I'll keep it anyway. Let's not change this one. Oh, it's not the best one, but it gives me my 6. Okay, then I get to the meat of my survey. I go to question 17, and I could have here go to this one here, go to question 17, which is my retention question. Um, how likely are you to, how likely is it that you will visit McDonald's in the next couple of weeks. And I could mix this up one. I could go extremely unlikely, very unlikely, unlikely, likely, very likely, extremely likely. Okay, now I've asked these questions, and now I could pipe this one, right? So I could do Q18, and I could do open ended and go. Uh, is there anything you would like to share with us regarding why you are, and then I could do pipe from Q17 to visit McDonald's. And this would be an open-ended text question. Right? So, I mean, like, this is not perfect, and we're doing this really fast, but we've got, in terms of the structure of it, we've got our little introduction. We've got some yes or no to that. They're going to do the survey. Some questions about their visit to McDonald's. It's kind of like the purpose of the survey. And then I get to the end, and then I ask, is there anything you would like to share with us regarding why you are, pipe from 17, likely to visit McDonald's in the near future? Right? And that would pipe from there. Then finally, before we end the survey, I would like to ask some questions about you. Okay, and then I would be good, and I would pull up my Reb questions, which I can never find. Where do I have it? Ugh. Here. Then I would just rip these off. And I don't know how many of these I would be interested in. I would drag this and Control V. I may ask about whether they're First Nations. I can just take them all. Gender. Let's say, why not? Let's go. Boom. I wouldn't necessarily ask all these, but I could. And then finally, I would have thank you for taking the time to complete the survey. Before we end the survey, is there any additional comments you would like to share with us? Open text. that's in a very rough way, kind of like a crude way. This is what the flow of our survey would be. I mean, like I would have to beef it up and clean it up through here in terms of satisfaction and agreement in terms of different factors that might be tied to retention. Um, let's make this. I can keep that. Okay, that would be general structure. So that's generally in terms of a design of a survey in a very rough, quick kind of way. These are the steps that you're going to go through when you're completing your survey and for your proposal, right? This is kind of like what I want to see. Now I'm doing this off the top of my head, and this isn't. I know the quality of what I've done is not very good, but what I would say is that this is just kind of like the steps that you would go through. But your survey is going to be better structured because you've done the lit review. And in your lit review, you'll have a good sense of the questions you're going to want to ask, and you'll have a really good sense of how you want to ask those questions. Okay.